Our trip into the past takes us halfway across the country. About 1,500 miles into the nation's heartland, where cows graze and corn grows.
We're not in Los Angeles anymore.
Right, Toto? The farmland, the back roads, local businesses.
Welcome to Hutchison, Kansas. There's about 45,000 people who live here. The locals call this Hutch. It's known for a number of things, but mostly for its huge salt mines. That's why they call this Salt City.
Because inside this building,
we're just going to get on and then we'll go down.
And down that double-decker hoisted elevator lies Los Angeles history. Lee Spence is one of the owners of underground vaults and storage in Hutchison. He's outfitted us with special gear, helmets, and even a device that helps you breathe in the event of fire.
With a head strap, so you're kind of wearing that like this.
Right. Something he says has never been needed.
And it's all 650 feet underground, one level.
You heard right. Spence says our trip, a depth taller than many LA skyscrapers, will take a minute and a half.
Wow.
We're traveling at 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, this is really sailing. Yeah. This is fast. I can feel it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for our camera light, we'd be in pitch black darkness.
So we're actually going through that water table.
We are?
Yeah. And the concrete shaft keeps the water from coming into the mine.
I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you.
I'm glad we told you that.
Good to know. Thank you.
When we finally get to rock bottom, we're met by signs telling us which way to escape if necessary, and a conveyor belt filled with salt rocks. This is an active mine excavating tons of salt every day. Most is used as rock salt for melting snow and ice on sidewalks and highways. The other part is a very unique, highly specialized warehouse, and that's where we're going.
We're actually going down one of the main corridors here.
A drive into a somewhat magical place where Kansas meets Hollywood. And few people from the outside world have ever seen it, until now.
Now here, Warner Brothers right there, big Hollywood movie maker.
Lee Spence says most major Hollywood players are here and have stored films like The Wizard of Oz, Titanic, and TV shows like Glee and Modern Family.
What in effect you have here is 75 linear miles of storage space. This is huge. Figure about 100 or so football fields.
With over 6 million boxes of valuables down here. And look what we found.
KTTV News.
For years, KTTV has stored precious LA film in this mine. 650 boxes of film. 4 decades of news stories here, all secure, out of sight.
A lot of boxes.
To go through here, you have to be escorted like we were.
Some of our news right here.
And what's special about right here is the salt in this mine and the perfect storage conditions the salt provides.
The temperature is a constant 68 degrees. The salt environment keeps the air relatively dry in the 40% humidity range, so it's an ideal climate for most any kind of archival storage, but particularly film.
Searching high and low, we came across stories long forgotten about, for instance, early LA mayors like Norris Poulsen and Sam Yorty and other officials.
This has the old medical examiner, Thomas Noguchi, right here from looks like 1960.
Real local history. For me, it was like finding buried treasure.
I'm like a kid in a candy store. All this great stuff.
Film cans filled with multiple reels of KTTV stories going back to the very beginning. November 1949. Planning and construction for the 1950 Rose Parade with its Queen Court and floats.
Los Angeles flying saucers.
December of 49. The Air Force denied the existence of flying saucers. We covered that too. There was this one marked Missing Boy, and this one, Boxcars Derailed.
Oh, there's Ken Jones. Ken was a reporter for KTTV back in the day.
There were some fun films I found, like this one of famous singer and comedian Jimmy Durante.
You know, I used to be able to do an impersonation of Jimmy Durante. That's no banana. That's my nose.
But most of what we dug up was on the serious side, film requiring very special handling.
So we should try to come down here to the first images and see what that looks like.
And frame by frame, we revealed pieces of LA history. Sometimes the film canisters had papers attached, small glimpses of what they might be holding. There's the Griffith Observatory, the image of a man, the story of a bomber accident, and what may be an image of the wreckage.
LAPD ambush, Clark Gable, Oppenheimer. That was the guy that created the A-bomb.
In fact, there's KTTV film of the early A-bomb test in the Nevada desert, and TV crews like ours were invited to cover them. And what might a typical newscast have looked like back in our earliest days, say 1954? There were violent crimes, but also the Rose Queen for that year, a new freeway link, a fire on Pico and Bilby.
The Optimist Club, Nixon.
The process of digitizing our KTTV archive has already begun, ever so slowly. Historic memories, saved for posterity in an old Kansas salt mine.
That was Hal Eisner. You know what he was really looking for down there? His old high school football game tapes, you know. Hey, if you haven't seen our KTTV 70th anniversary special, it's not too late. It's going to air again Saturday. We have a lot of special guests talking about the biggest moments in KTTV history. Vin Scully, actress Marla Gibbs, Paul Rodriguez, Martin Sheen. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You can tune in live. Set your DVR for Saturday, January 5th at 3 p.m.